Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to this new episode of Sartoria Talks. Today I will take you once again into a journey inside my personal wardrobe. This is the 5th episode of this series dedicated to my personal wardrobe. First of all, there's no such thing as an ideal wardrobe. It doesn't exist. Second thing, the aim and the goal of this journey inside my wardrobe is not to impress you. This journey inside my wardrobe is part of an ongoing series that was asked by you, in which I want to share with you how to build a wardrobe. And I'm doing this step by step, suit after suit, jacket after jacket, and I think that I might have a few things to share with you, a few things that can maybe help you, and help you, for example, not to make the same mistakes I made when I started to build this quality wardrobe step by step. So if you didn't look at the first episode, there's 4 episodes already on this series on this channel. We're going to put the link in the description of this video, so you can start with the beginning and follow me in my journey, but also in my mistakes and in my hesitations, in my obsessions for bespoke double-breasted suit, so that you can appreciate this episode totally fully. So, the last episode, I left you with my suit, sorry, I took my little notes, number 27, and it was the first black suit of my life, made by Lorenzo Cifonelli in Paris, which is my historical tailor. So, I left you there, it was suit number 27, and now we move to suit number 28. And what is interesting, so all the suits are behind me. You can see them, all of them are behind me. So we're going to speak about 5 suits that are made, and then some other, a little bit of 10 more that are in progress in different countries around the world. But for travel restriction reasons, some of them are waiting for me for more than 1 year. But more on that later. So you see, I'm surrounded by beautiful suits. And so suit 28, I think, is just, yes, is here behind me. This is this green suit. So this is bespoke, double-breasted, 6 on 2, so 6 buttons, 2 functional. Normally you button only the middle one. Well, there's a discussion, there's a debate here, because some people like to button the 2 functioning button. Like, for example, if you look at pictures of the Prince of Wales, Prince Charles, he liked to button the 2 button of his double-breasted. I know that my friend Lai Roblin in Italy, well, he's Canadian but living in Italy, he was the photographer of our book, The Italian Gentleman. He likes to button also totally is double-breasted, but nevertheless, it's a 6 on 2 classic, but the fabric is kind of exceptional. We were in Rome because Sartoria Ripense, this is the tailor. Andrea Luparelli is the name of the owner of this tailoring house. If you are following Instagram, the style community on Instagram, or the Petit Uomo community, you know Andrea Luparelli with his beard. Is a very elegant man and is a sweet guy. Ciao, Andrea is a good friend of us. And we were in Rome 2 years ago and to visit him. He has a beautiful haberdashery. It's a very small, tiny tailoring shop, but inside of it you can buy sweaters, you can buy umbrellas. By the way, he's selling fantastic bags, travel bags, for suit bags. We've been looking for suit bags with Sonia for so long, and at last we found a beautiful leather suit bag at Sartoria Ripense at Andrea Luparelli. So we were in this beautiful shop, haberdashery, and I literally fell in love with a piece of fabric that was here, just here like that, you know, on a table. And I said to Andrea, I want a suit with this fabric. But he said, I'm sorry, Hugo, I'm not sure I have the length of fabric to make you a suit, because that's a vintage fabric, probably from the 70s or the 80s. It's quite thick. It's a winter fabric with this shawl stripe, green with a shawl stripe. I'm not sure I have the length. But I said, okay, try to find something similar if you don't have the length, but I want to make a suit with you with this fabric. Okay, long story short, fortunately, he looked into his archive and he eventually discovered that he had another cut of this very fabric that he forgot about, and so he had sufficient length to make for me a bespoke double-breasted 6-on-2 and a pair of trousers that goes with it because it's a suit. And look at it, okay, it's not your everyday suit. If you start your wardrobe, don't go directly for this kind of short scrap because it's very strong pattern. But I wear it sometime with a jacket, with a shirt and with a tie. But I also like to wear it with a mock neck or a turtleneck, to make it a little bit more spregiaturesque, a little bit more Italian. And I also, as you can see, like to wear it open. Okay, purists, you can throw rotten tomatoes, maybe not at your television. You can mentally throw rotten tomatoes at me or to me. But, more and more, I find it extremely elegant and agreeable and very comfortable. I like the idea of being casual in your attitude, even if you are dressed to the nines. I like this. I don't know, maybe it's me, but specifically for this kind of outfit, which has a strong personality, I like to wear it in a casual manner. Because if you wear this in a very stiff manner, it can become a little bit overdressed. That was my suit 28 by Sartoria Ripense in Rome, Andrea Luparelli. It's a double-breasted 6-on-2 on a vintage fabric. We have no idea who is the mill who did this fabric because even Andrea doesn't know this green with a shark stripe. Now we move to suit 29, and if you are following this series of dedicated to my wardrobe, you probably know that even if sometime I go away from Cifonelli, I always come back to Cifonelli. It's like, it's my historical tailor. I can't go too far from them for a long time. So I had to come back a little bit for my suit 29. And I had this dream since a long time. I wanted to have a gangster suit. Don't worry, I had no idea to rob a bank or to do something wrong. I didn't want to become a gangster or a mafioso, but I had this idea to have this kind of Al Capone suit, with this tennis stripe, double-breasted with huge lapels, and I did it with Lorenzo, as you can see, beautiful suit, 6-on-1. This is a classic. Okay, once again, maybe not your first suit to buy. You have to have a little bit of mileage, if I may say, to be able to pull off this kind of suit. Same thing. I can wear it with a tie and with a shirt. I can wear it with a mock neck, black one. By the way, I show you a picture I put on Instagram 1.5 years ago. It's beautiful, and it had a lot of success because I was wearing this gangster suit with a black mock neck, and it works extremely well. The fabric is very agreeable. It's a Super 160 by Drago, our friends Drago in Biella, and it's from the bunch, I think the bunch is called Sinfonia. I'm sure it's called Sinfonia. Beautiful Super 160 with this Drago finishing touch, a little bit dry, crispy, easy to maintain, very agreeable, and with a very beautiful hand. So that's my suit number 29, Cifonelli, double-breasted, 6-on-1 with a Drago Super 160, my first gangster suit. For suit number 30, we go to the USA. Yeah, it may surprise you, but the suit number 30, we were in Washington, and we meet them twice, actually, in Washington, D.C. and in New York. And it's one of the very rare suits in my wardrobe that are not fully bespoke. It's made to measure. So for the people who are new here, in 1 second, just the difference. Bespoke, you go to a traditional tailor, the tailor is measuring you, and then you do a basket fitting, and then a second fitting, and then the third fitting, and sometimes even the fourth fitting, and the tailor can adjust the jacket and the pants to your morphology. That's bespoke tailoring. Made to measure is the same idea. You get measured, except that there's no fittings. Basically, you are measured, you can choose your lapel, you can choose your pockets, you can choose even your buttons, a lot of different details, your lining, but then the suit is not done by hand in-house, it's sent to a factory, and then it comes back generally a few weeks later, and then you try it on at the place, and then they can make a few alterations, and you're good. Well, even for me, I didn't have the possibility to make alterations because we were gone from America back to France when the suit was ready. So they just shipped it to our house in America. So I just recuperated this suit probably 6 months after it was sent. And if you are loyal watchers and subscribers of Sartorial Talks, I don't know if you remember, I wore this suit for the first time when we did this first confinement show on watches. This suit is from Enzo Custom, and believe me, if you live in the USA or even abroad, but specifically in the USA, it's a name to remember. If you're on a budget, you want to do make to measure, you don't want to go off the peg, but you want something serious for a budget price, a budget. Well, more affordable than Bespoke, of course, around, let's say, between $600 and $1,200. I really strongly advise you to pay a visit to Enzo Custom. They have 2 shops in New York. They have 1 shop in DC. They have 1 shop in Chicago. They were about to open another one in Atlanta. I think they have 6 or 7 in the USA. It's a beautiful place. And the suit I made with them is, well, I must say, is incredible. For $600 or $700, it looks so nice. Pic lapel, this fabric, I don't even know what fabric it is. It was in one of their bunch with their name on it, but I don't know from which mill it's come. This kind of, I don't know even to describe the color. I would say, in French, we would say vieux rose, like old pink, something like with a little bit of a chevron. It's beautiful fabric, and you see single-breasted, 2 buttons, pic lapel. It looks absolutely gorgeous. This is my suit number 30, Enzo Custom in the United States of America, and this is extremely nice work. And it tells us something, is that you know that the made-to-measure or the custom market in suiting is exploding this day. Why? Because more and more people are dressing now because they want to dress and not because they have to dress up. You understand? Even we all know the casual Friday. We all know now that the banks and the investment banks, they ask their assistant not to wear too many ties because the next billionaire may show up in the bank with his shorts and flip-flops. So if you are fully tied up, sometimes you can have a kind of a misalignment with your client, and you know that the most important thing for marketing people is align with your client so that he can relate to you. So this is why the dress code have been funny. And then more and more people now, even in the USA, even if you can say, well, less and less people are dressing up. Yes, that's true. But more, the people now who are wearing suit, they wear suit because they want to wear a suit. And if you want to wear a suit, of course, you're more attracted to something custom than to simply some kind of gray off-the-peg suit that everybody has around you. And the problem in this market, which is a very interesting and booming market, you can find fantastic things like Enzo Custom and terrible things. That is to say, people who even try to fool you with the semantic and the word. They call this bespoke, when most of the time it's hardly ready to wear of crappy quality, just to adjust it to your measurement. So you see, open your eyes, trust your eyes, but in made to measure, you can find extremely good quality, and you don't have to spend a lot of money. Of course, if you have the wallet or the bank account for it, go for bespoke, real traditional bespoke tailoring. But if you're on a budget, or if it's among your first suits, or you're just out of university, you can try people like Enzo Custom. So remember this name, it's in the United States of America, was my suit number 30. Now, 31, it's funny because I'm going to speak about 5 suits that I show you, and those 5 suits are from 5 different countries, which is quite unusual for me. Normally, I have a passion for Parisian tailoring, and Cifonelli in particular, and we fell in love with Sonia, with Italy. It's our second book, The Italian Gentleman, so we know so many people. And also, and I confess, I miss British suit, but we have a few projects. We are talking with a few people that we have a lot of friends on Savile Row. But unfortunately, since a few months and almost a year now, Savile is pretty much locked down. So the project we had, even Sonia have a project with a few people, important people, tailors there, we couldn't progress on them because of the lockdown and the sanitary crisis. So, but today, I think it's the first time that I have 5 suits of 5 different countries that I'm showing to you, because now we are moving for suit number 31 to Germany. Okay, well, that might sound a little bit strange because, well, I can confess that I've never been a big fan of German tailoring. I have nothing against them. My good friend Bernard Rutzel, hello Bernard, is a great guy, fantastic style writer, but I always found German tailoring, how can I say this without sounding bad for anybody? I don't want to hurt anybody. A little bit boring, a little bit too classic, a little bit, you know. You go into tailoring or into custom because you want something that has some spirit, man. You don't want to have the normal suit that you can buy at Macy's or whatever the name of the department stores are in the US. You want something different. You want something for you as a person, something that communicates who you are. And each time I was looking at German tailoring, yes, it was very serious, very well made, but boring. Except this tailor from Munich, in Germany called Diehm. And for the first time, I saw photos of what he had done as a double-breasted for Jean-Pierre Marois, the owner of Les Bains, the famous Les Bains Douche in Paris. It was one of the most famous nightclubs in the world before, now is a 5-star boutique hotel. And he did for him an electric blue double-breasted that was gorgeous. And so we contacted him. He came to visit us in Bourgogne right there in this house. We had good time together. We shared the same passion for great wines. And for this first project with a German tailor, I decided to go red. Oh, well, not exactly red, some kind of between burgundy and red. And we decided with Diehm to choose something from Fox Brothers, of course, the kings of the flannel, very well known in the world for their heavy flannel. But this flannel is extremely light, beautiful flannel. And we did this 4-on-1, so only 4 buttons with 1 active with, okay, that's my weak point, with big lapels, and this is very stylish, and it's a beautiful suit that is, I changed my mind, you know, about it. It's in tailoring, in anything around elegance, and like in everything in life, be ready to change your mind. I think it's a good quality for a man to be able to change your mind. So I changed my mind, and I can tell you that Diehm is a great tailor. His trajectory is interesting. He was trained as a tailor when he was a young boy. So he got this traditional needle and thread training, real training. And then he went to some, you know, big brands, the most famous German brand. Maybe you don't even know it's from Germany. I will not say this brand because I don't really like it, but it has my name. It's called Hugo, and the name starts with a B. And so he was the head. I mean, he was working in the style department for them, and then he worked for 2 or 3 big brands in Germany as an artistic director. And then he worked for Scabal also in Brussels. Scabal is one of the most important mill company producing high-end fabric in the world. So he has a very interesting and artistic trajectory, but eventually he just rediscovered that what he wanted, what the job he wanted to do was to be a tailor, a real traditional tailor, making his suits alone with a little team of 2 or 3 people by hand, 60 hours per suit, with a needle and a thread. And this is how his life had a meaning. So not only we like his work, but we like the man. He's a great guy, and it's a name to remember. And it was my suit number 31, Diehm in Munich. It's a bespoke red suit 4-on-1. Okay, now we move to suit 32, and before showing it to you, I have to tell you a story. Okay, my wife, she liked to make surprises to me, so she put just close to me, she put this on my table. I'm trying to put my little things here. She put this, you see? This was when I was a kid. I was passionate with little soldiers like that, but soldiers wearing uniform, that's Napoleon, you know. And I had a book when I was a kid. I think I have it here. Okay. Maybe you're going to say, this guy is really strange. Not only taking us in a journey in his wardrobe, and on top of that, he's showing us books of uniform. This book has been, as you can see, it's been read a lot by me. I think I know it by heart. When I was a kid, I was literally fascinated by uniforms. I don't know why. I thought that was people who are looking so good in a uniform. And by the way, if you study a little bit tailoring, you will quickly understand that the origins of British tailoring mainly is coming from uniforms on the floor. And so I was dreaming in front of these books when I was a kid. And when I started my sartorial path, and even more when I started working with tailors, I always had this in the back of my head to say, okay, one day I'm going to ask a tailor to craft for me a uniform, but not a modern uniform, maybe a uniform from the 19th century, 18th century, something really vintage. And then I met Maximilian Mucska in Bratislava, Slovakia. First of all, it's a great tailor. He doesn't only, I think it's the first time he made a uniform when he was a tailor. But before becoming a bespoke tailor, he was making costumes at the opera in Vienna, because Bratislava is very close to Vienna. And so I said, that's my man. I can ask him to make me a uniform, because first of all, he's a fantastic bespoke tailor. He's working with his two sons, great people. We spoke about them in a former episode of Sartorial Talks. We adore them. And on top of that, if you fly to Vienna, you take 30 minutes drive, you cross the border with Slovakia. Bratislava is a beautiful little city, and the prices of tailoring there, of course, are much more affordable than in Vienna. That's just a small bracket for those people who maybe visit one day this place. Don't miss this place, Maximilian Mucska. And so I asked him, can you do a uniform for me? And he said, of course I can do that. I know how to do this. And they crafted for me this uniform. Okay. It's not something I'm going to wear every day. It's not something I'm going to go and see my banker with. It's not something I can wear at Petit Uomo, or maybe on a black tie event, or maybe in a wedding, for example, of one of my friends, or I don't know, in some special occasions, but I love it. It's beautiful. And I decided to pair it and to really go the extra mile, because I decided to ask my friend from Stivalleria Savoia in Milan, Italy, to craft for me a pair of high boots. I really pushed it far to wear with this uniform. And they crafted for me a fabulous pair of bespoke boots. I designed with them a mix between equestrian boots and polo. The polo boots, the game that you play on a horse. And so he has a zipper on the back, and okay, together with the uniform, if I go outside or if I go into a party, somebody would probably ask me where did I put my horse, because I really maybe look like a, I don't know, some kind of military guy with a horse from the 18th century. But I don't care, because that was the dream. It's a boy dream. I dreamed of this when I was a boy, and I managed to fulfill my dream. And this is something that I always dreamt of, and I'm so happy to have it. So that was my suit number 32. This uniform, I don't even know how to call it. There's no real era, because it's a creation from Maximilian Mucska for me, and it's absolutely gorgeous, from Mucska in Bratislava. And then I have a list of ongoing suits. I have a lot of suits that are in the making, in the process. I've been measured. Some of them I did one fitting, some of them I did two fitting, some of them I didn't even do the first fitting. But I want to give you a few ideas of what will come after for the episode number 6. Unfortunately, normally I would have had at least, I would say, 3/4 of the suits I'm going to tell you about now. But the problem is that with the sanitary crisis and with the lockdowns and the confinements and all the problems we have these days, it's very difficult for us to travel to Italy, to travel to America, to travel anywhere, actually. We have to stay home pretty much. So I have a lot of suits waiting for me. I can't wait. Well, to be honest, we can't wait with Sonia to see our friends again. It's not only about having a suits, I have so many, but it's finishing the project we have with them, and also having the pleasure to go back to Napoli, to go back to Milan, to go back to the place, where we have so many people we adore. This is our community, and we miss them a lot. And if you are new in this world, and if you have the opportunity to help them, to commission suit, these are people who are suffering, artisans, are really hit very hard with the crisis, and this is why also we take the time to speak, and I want to speak about each and every of them because they need also support, because it's not, I know it's a difficult time for everybody, but specifically for artisans. They can't travel anymore, and the clients can't travel to them, and it's a real problem for most of them. So, I have one suit. Some of them I have a few photos I'm going to show you. Some of them I don't even have the photos. And some of them you'll see, you can see only the first cut with the fabric. So you can see that it's real old craftsmanship. I have one suit. It's a light green suit in pure cashmere. It's a crazy suit I did with my fantastic friend Gianni Celeghin in Legnano, close to Milan. This fabric is a Zegna vintage from the 1980s, all cashmere. I went even as far as to do a full suit with cashmere, which is not the way to, don't do that if you don't have a huge wardrobe, because the pants are not very durable if you do them in cashmere. But me, with all the suit I have, well, I can say, I can wear maybe this 2 or 3 times per year, and he will survive, but I still made 2 pairs of trousers. That's one of my next suits. I have also a suffrage jacket. Look, with these very strong patterns in checks, small checks, with a young tailor that we like called Enzo Carfora, close to Napoli, not exactly in Naples, close to Napoli. This is interesting, and look at the first. This is the jacket for the first fitting. This jacket is waiting for me since more than a year now. Then I have another very interesting sport jacket with Ettore de Cesare in Napoli, once again, Italy. This is, you see the pattern. The one before was wool from Drago, and this one is pure cashmere from Drago. But you see, this is green with a very strong line, so it's not your usual sport jacket. If you're a beginner, don't go directly to this kind of thing, but I'm very excited about this jacket. I have also a double-breasted rust color. I always wanted to have a rust color suit. It's a double-breasted in rugby flannel by our friend at Drago, by Pino Peluzzo. Hello, Pino, our friends in Naples, in Italy. Sometimes I say Naples, sometimes I say Napoli. Let's say Napoli. It's better for Italians. So I hope I'm going to be able. I don't have pictures of this one because I think it's not even cut. Then we have this fantastic jacket with Mauro and Carmelo Crimi, probably the kindest people on earth. They live in Palermo, Sicily. They are Sicilians, the father and the son. Beautiful people. And they do for me, so I show you, it's just on the cutting table. I didn't do the first fitting, but they know, they work on my jacket. It's a beautiful sport jacket in a kind of a burgundy red. I don't know why I do a lot of burgundy red these days, Sonia. What's happening to me? I'm attracted to that, and it's a fantastic fabric, very precious fabric from Drapers in Bologna. It's 97% cashmere and 3% silk. It's an absolute beauty, and I can't wait. Well, to be honest, I can't wait to go to Palermo because I know we eat so well in Palermo, and the hospitality of Sicilian is absolutely legendary. But also to see my friends Crimi and to try this jacket that I'm sure is going to be absolutely stunning. I have, as I said to you, I'm never far from Cifonelli. I also have a 3-piece suit in progress with Lorenzo Cifonelli. I can show you the fabric by the French brand Dormeuil. Beautiful high-level fabrics. Hello, Dominique Dormeuil, he's a very famous guy in our area. This is the 3-piece with a very strong and a little bit shiny gray tone-on-tone. It's going to be 3-piece with a pique lapel and a double-breasted vest. I think waistcoat is going to be extremely interesting. Well, I can show you only the fabric because I can tell you a little secret. I don't know when this show will be broadcasted, but we were supposed to go to Paris today, actually. But I gave a call 2 days ago to Lorenzo, or I sent him a text message to say, hey, Lorenzo, I lost a little bit of weight, a little bit, actually kind of a lot, not a lot, but some weight. And he said, well, in this case, I prefer not to cut because I want to have your measurements. It's easier for me after the first fitting if I have to really reduce it. If it's 1 or 2 kilos, it's not a problem, but it's 5, 6 kilos, it's a little bit more problematic. So he didn't cut it, but so he sent me a picture of the fabric. And I can't wait to have this 3-piece. I think this one's going to kick ass. I have the right to say that, darling? Okay. I just asked my wife if it's okay to say kick ass. And then bulk, because I'm not going to show you everything. I have one short-striped, double-breasted gray, like another second gangster suit with my friend Pirozzi in Napoli. I have an off-white, double-breasted suit with a tailor called St. Gregory Tailors, also in Naples. And I have 2 suits in Spain that are waiting for me. One at Toque Sastre. It's a little made-to-measure operation, but quite talented. I think it's a Super 130 blue, quite classical. And then we have our people, our friends at Bench Corner, Federico and Jaime, and the people we like a lot in Madrid. These are incredibly stylish and interesting people. And I do with them a made-to-measure suit with a Super 180 by Drago. It's with a little chevron motif, quite shiny, supremely elegant. We can't wait to be able to travel again, my friend. So you see, I would have loved to show you more, to give you an update of my wardrobe, a little bit more extensive update. But, well, let's be optimistic. Let's pray that things going to be better soon with the vaccine, with the fact that we know a little bit more about this pandemic and that we're going to be able to travel again. And so that in the next episode, inside, dedicated to my personal wardrobe, we will be able to show you more of this. Look at this list. These very interesting suits made, all of them by incredible people and fantastic artisans. So once again, all these episodes on my wardrobe is not to impress anybody. It's not to show you how rich I am to have so many bespoke suits no. The only thing I can say is that I'm privileged. We are privileged with Sonia. We do what we love in life. This is our job. We are wearing these suits because we want to show to the world that there's a future for people who are working by hand. We believe in a handmade future. We have no idea what the next world, the world of after the pandemic will look like, but we can tell you that Sonia and I, we're going to welcome this world with bespoke suits made by artisans, with impeccable shoes, with beautiful socks, with artisans' shirts. This shirt is made by my friend Davino in Napoli, all by hand, with beautiful ties. We want to welcome the new world impeccable. We want to be posh. We want to put beauty again into the life. And I have a little advice, my friend. I know, well, maybe not too much in the US, but in Europe, a lot of people have been confined at home, have been rediscovering a different way of living, being impeached a little bit in the where they travel. If they can't go to holidays, they can't even go to the office. For most of them, they have to stay home and work from home. Try to dress up a little bit, even if only once a week or twice a week. Rediscover the pleasure of walking in nice shoes. Don't let yourself go, like stay in your pajamas and say, okay, whatever, it doesn't change much. At least, okay, even if you do a Zoom, even if you dress only the bottom, the up, and you want to stay in your underwear, it's your problem. But at least do something, because beauty is important. Aesthetics is everything. I don't want to live in a mediocre world when all this going to be over. It's time for you to train. It's time for you to make tries. You have no risk. Try new ties. Try to educate yourself. Read our books. Read Flusser. Read Boyer. We made an episode on that. There's a lot of interesting books. Restudy. Question yourself about beauty, about the aesthetics, and what about all what we are talking here. It's not really about clothes. It's about the philosophy of life, that there's beauty everywhere. And we will have, all of us, to re-inject the sufficient amount of beauty and kindness and gentleman manners in this world. Please don't let this world become mediocre and vulgar. I give you an appointment to the next episode of Sartoria Talks. Bye-bye, my friends.